Hello.
Locutors of Trek on screen.
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Locutors of Trek on Screen. We are your hosts, Plain Simple Tailors,
Howdy.
also known as Dave and Davin.
I'm Dave.
I'm Davin. And that's my cousin Dave.
Hey, and I'm also
From
cousin Dave here.
Live Long and Podcast. How you doing tonight, Dave?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to talk some trivia with you guys. I'm excited. It's a very nice night here. Sunday, October 17th. We're a little bit laggy. Hope everyone's doing well out there.
Are we far from the router?
Hello, anybody
Hello.
here?
I'm
Can
here.
I hear you? Oh, Dave's back. All right, let's throw Scott in here. We
Okay,
had
here
some
we
technical
go.
difficulties, but I think we're doing all right.
Oh, and there's guys.
We reversed the
Look at
polarity.
that.
Good
Beaming
afternoon, fellows.
Hello, Mr. Scott.
Hey, Mr. Scott.
Mr. Scott. Scotty.
So, as I said, this is Locutors of Trek on Screen with your host, me and Dave. But your real host for this evening, well, that's our special guest, Dave Mater from Live Long and Podcast.
Hello.
And the Super Mater Brothers and Trivia Pursuits and a lot
Trivia
of good
debates.
podcasts. Let me tell you. What did I say? Trivial Pursuits?
That's right.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a very known board game.
It is. I think
It's kind of a play. It's a kind of a play on that, so it's fitting. Yes.
Well, you can catch us at locutorsoftrek@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and the Twitches. And, of course, check out our podcast, Locutors of Trek, wherever you get your podcasts. Now, I'll throw things over to our host of the day, which is Mr. Scott, for this rendition of The Trouble with Trivia.
Good evening, guys. You'll be happy to know I've got all kinds of paper with me to keep track of the trivia. On camera, you can actually see it rather than just hearing about it this time. We have a good selection, I think, of general trivia for you. We're going to be doing it with 3 runners this time, which is a little bit more complex than before, but we're going to see how we get along here. And I've got the beloved speed round waiting at the end. So if you really stink it up to begin, don't worry. Lots of room to make it up after the fact.
All right.
So let's start with a toss-up question. It's going to be a 2-parter. I want somebody to shout out the first answer that you can get on this. I'm looking for the episode title of any series premiere.
Broken Bow.
Broken Bow is a good choice. So that's Enterprise. That's 1 point for you, Davin. Now there's a bunch of extra points that are going to be available here.
I'm going to ask you to score on occasion there, Mr. Scott, just so I can flash it up on the screen.
I got it tracked. I'll give you updates as we go.
All right.
Enterprise ran for 4 seasons, so the series premiere plus 3 more season premieres. What were they?
Oh,
wow.
That's the real question there.
brutal.
Series premiere.
What was the first Zindi one called? I'm going to have to pass. Is that to me? I'm going to have to pass.
A pass? Okay. The Daves. Give me a different series premiere then.
Well, how about Encounter at Farpoint?
It's probably going to be an easier choice. Give me the other season premieres of TNG.
Oh, that's way easier than Enterprise.
You made your bed, I gotta say.
Yeah,
gosh, actually, it's not that great. Best of Both Worlds Part 2, I suppose, is a season premiere.
Mm-hmm.
What else have we got for? Evolution season 2 premiere, or season 3 maybe.
You're already wrong. You called the Best of Both Worlds season 2.
No. That's season 4 opening. You got any, Dave? I've run out.
Okay,
Dave has to move on to a different series, most likely.
I'll go with Deep Space. I'll go with Emissary.
Okay, no. Hold up.
Oh.
You're the last to go. You're going to do season finales.
Oh.
Okay, that's harder. Season finales. Wow. Let's go with Voyager. Maybe I can get that.
Okay.
Equinox is one of them. I know that. Is Unimatrix 0 or Unimatrix 1? Is that one of them?
Yeah.
And the one where they get shipwrecked by those Kazons.
Can I rack up points now,
Basics.
Scott? I know the rest
Basics.
of the series aren't Enterprise.
Yeah. Dave, you got 3 out of 4. You're tied right now with other Dave. Grab one more Voyager finale. I'll give you the point.
Scorpion.
Yep.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. Gavin, you got one.
Yeah, last time I talked about Enterprise tonight.
Yeah, you bring it up. You got to be ready to
I mean, by numbers, I only had 4 against their 7. How is that ever going to work out for me?
You only had 4. You only had 4 to get.
Yeah.
Clever guy going with Broken Bow. Try to go not a less popular series, let's say.
I was trying to give some shout outs where there aren't often shout outs.
Certainly, I suspect a popular theme song.
All right. Gavin won. Cousin Dave won. Reverend Dave, no points.
Terrible.
I'm surprised you got Evolution, honestly. It's not one that really leaps to mind, but you had the season wrong. It was season 3, not season 2.
I didn't realize I had to guess the season 2. Sorry.
You didn't need to guess them.
Yeah,
you volunteered information, which...
Yeah, you volunteered information. You know how Scott is.
Oh, that's
Scott.
true.
Scott is a vicious taskmaster.
Quizmaster, and I was going to give out plenty of points. I thought we would get a few more of those, but we didn't. So let's move on.
That should be good on Taskmaster as well.
Let's give Reverend Dave first crack at this one.
Okay.
Captain Kirk had to go save the whales at one point. It's a 2-part question. How did he find where the whales would be?
How did he find where the whales would be?
After having landed in San Francisco.
Didn't they just go asking people on the streets, like, where are your whales? They just go looking for marine land, basically, don't they? I have poor memories of this. Where are your nuclear vessels?
Can you guys steal?
Yes. The answer is that there was a signal that Uhura picked up while they were approaching San Francisco. She's like, we are receiving whale song, and then they put it on the speakers.
That's right.
And then the coordinates were given to Spock and Kirk to track down.
We got a real competitor here.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
say-
Listen, I'll tell you, it's probably been 20 years since I watched that movie.
Oh, that's
So-
too long.
It is,
It was-
honestly.
I tried to watch it 20 times.
We did a full reenactment for Star Trek Radio Theater, so I know it pretty well now.
I bet you
What do you
did.
think? Because it's not actually a complete answer. I got him to San Francisco, but I'm looking for how did they find them within San Francisco. So
Oh,
I'll
it
give
was-
you another shot.
The bus ad.
Yeah, the bus ad is what we're looking for.
Oh, the
Logic.
George and Gracie bus ad.
That's right.
Yes, pure logic, Mr. Spock. That's how Kirk figured it out.
Yeah.
Davin, I'll give you the first shot of this one. What were the 2 whales' names?
George and Gracie. I just said it, so yeah.
Okay.
Neither of them smoked a cigar.
You don't know that.
Let's do this one with the Price is Right rules. So this is going to be the closest without going over.
Okay.
Dave, you're still not on the board, so I'm going to give you the first shot of this. Do you want to
Okay.
go first or last? Actually, Price is Right. Sometimes it helps.
First or last?
I'll go last.
Okay.
I
Other
do
Dave.
Price is Right.
Question is, how many romances does Memory Alpha have listed for William Riker?
Oh, wow.
For who?
What? Riker.
Commander William Riker.
I'm gonna go with
Oh,
17.
my.
That's
Um,
my bid is 17.
Davin.
So by Price is Right rules, can I say $1 and I win from 1 to 16 since he said 17?
If you want, I probably wouldn't suggest it when you're not the last to go, though.
Dave can also say 2, and then you have everything from 2 to 7.
Exactly. This is why going last is a
Broken
benefit.
Scott.
Did I break Scott?
No.
No, I think you broke yourself.
Mm-hmm. He's got the worst connection of this right now. So
He's got to carry 2 guys.
they'll pop back in about 30 seconds, probably.
Yeah. This is him furious pulling up memory alpha on the other screen. That's what's killing his connection here.
Yeah, he's Googling furiously how many. I feel like 17 is like I don't know if that's too many or too few. I feel like it's exactly what I wanted to guess, but
it's I'll tell you in a minute what it is.
Yeah, because it's like there's 7 seasons, but it's not like he had a romance every season. But then there'd also be the ones that were sort of referenced on the show. And if you're just joining us, the Troll Trivia continues here on Look Who's. Oh, they're there. Hello.
If you're just joining us, Plain Simple Tailors are back.
Hey.
So yeah, I was asking you about Price is Right rules. Can I just say $1 now that he said 17?
You can.
But then Dave
can say just say 2.
Not the strongest.
Oh yeah, that's no
Also,
good.
I'm not sure that $1 is a reasonable answer relative to how many romances Riker has had. $1.
You don't know what he charges.
You don't know what he did to that dollar.
I'll say, sorry, Dave. I'm gonna say 18.
Okay.
Oh, that's a dirty move.
I know, but it's Price is Right.
Other
It's
day.
either 18 or $1.
I'm gonna be that Price is Right guy.
You're gonna say $1.
No, I'm gonna say 27.
27.
All right. Well, I don't have the Price is Right. No, everybody was over sound effect.
Oh,
Dave was
it was
close.
more like 12.
The answer was
way over
15.
then.
We were all
15?
over. We all went over.
Everybody
we
was
all
over,
went
so
over.
there's no points for that one. The answer is 15 that they've got listed. I don't
Oh,
have the
man,
list.
this is my best question so far.
We overestimated. Well, you were way off.
You guys didn't get any points though.
You were right to go. You were right to. If you had bid 1, you would have got it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, I should have went with
Thought
$1.
about it and both decided against it.
It's rough.
Okay,
Second guess
Dave, I
myself.
want you to get on the board, so you're going to go first on this one again.
Okay.
In which movies does the Enterprise get destroyed?
Oh,
It happens more than once. I'll give you that much.
Well, definitely gets destroyed in Star Trek 3. And does it get destroyed in Insurrection? I don't recall.
you have to
I'll
say.
I'll say Star Trek 3 and Insurrection.
Okay, that's not right.
Okay.
Gavin,
Oh, it might have been Nemesis. Dang you. I'm on my game today, I tell you what.
We have a comment here.
Riker's a pimp.
All right.
Oh,
We got
Oh,
good
that
comment.
you know what? That is a good comment. This next comment, the pimp thing, is debatable. Does this count Abrams movies, Scott?
I think it should.
the Star Trek movies, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Oh, I haven't even seen all of those, so
I'm ready to
Well,
steal when you are.
I'm at
All
luck
right,
on
Take
those.
your guess, sir.
Dave, go
Yeah.
ahead and steal. I tried to give it to Davin. He was sidetracked.
So the answer
You
would
tried
be
to give it to me?
You Star Trek
I
up,
tried
I'm
twice.
Star
Oh.
Trek 3 is the first one. Star Trek 7 Generations is the next instance. And then Star Trek Into Darkness would be the next version, wouldn't it? Or I guess Star Trek Beyond, really.
It survives into darkness. Davin, it goes down, but it's not destroyed. It does its.
It does come back. So yeah, Beyond is the correct.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give you half a point for that one. I like my half points.
Answer. All right, I'll take the half.
2.5 for Dave, 2 for Davin.
Those guys had a long road getting from there to here.
That was a mistake. Sorry.
Dave can't get on the board. He can't buy one here. All right.
Nope.
Can't
I
buy.
I can't win for love or money so far.
Well, you know.
I feel like these are getting easier, and Dave, I'm starting to feel for you, so I'm going to give you first crack once again. Give me the name of Deep Space Nine's sister station.
Oh, Empok Nor.
Oh,
Yeah, and it shows up.
Okay.
It shows up in 2 episodes. Which 2?
Well, it shows up in the episode Empok Nor, and also the Magnificent Ferengi.
That sounds good. I gave you
I
2
love them
names.
running up and down those hallways.
Dave loves a running for
Oh,
Ferengi.
man. They're so great.
2.5, 2, 2.
Oh my.
Dave, I'll give you the first shot of this one. I believe we've had 3 Vulcan main regular cast members throughout the years. Who are the 3?
Including people of partial
also.
Vulcan heritage, which includes Spock, I would hope.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spock would be the first one. The second one would be Tuvok on Voyager, and the third one would be T'Pol on Enterprise.
Yep, that's right.
That would
I
cover it.
considered briefly to count Burnham in there.
Michael
Sorry.
Burnham, yeah.
He's
Culturally.
not genetically Vulcan.
Not genetically. That's why.
And after the first half of the first episode, she stops acting Vulcan.
She is a citizen, though, of what's the new name of their planet?
Oh yeah,
Both
Nivar, I think.
Navarre, yeah.
All right, Gavin, your
Yep.
first pick of this one. So we got
Way
3.5,
behind.
2, and 2. You're not way behind. You're tied for second.
First loser. All right.
You're also tied for dead last.
Yeah.
Humans are organized in the United Federation of Planets. Klingons are organized in the Klingon Empire.
Huh.
How are the Tholians organized?
In the Tholian, no, not the Gorn hegemony. The Tholian Confederate.
Dave, you look like you knew this one.
The Tholian Assembly.
I was saying the other Dave, but yep, that's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no! You had to have to specify for the rest of
We
this,
both
man.
we both knew it. We both.
Two
Cousin
Dave.
Dave and there's Taylor's Dave.
We have a difference in hats as well.
2 Daves, beheaded Dave.
The Hatted
All right,
Dave, the
Beheaded
cousin
Dave.
Dave. You can call me cousin Dave just for simplicity.
Oh,
Beheaded
that's a great
Dave.
idea.
How about
Dave's
the
my
Breen?
cousin. Did I point that out?
I've heard, yeah. How about the Breen? How do they organize themselves?
Who's that? Who are you asking this?
Cousin Dave.
Oh, the Breen Confederacy.
That's right.
I was off by the Brains and Tholians.
We'll come back to you and give you a chance at
Easily
getting back
confused.
into tied for second place. The Kazon are not centrally organized. They instead have 18 warring factions. What are these factions called?
Is this for me?
Yep,
They're Kazon sects.
that's right.
And I can name you some if you like.
I don't have the full list in front
The
of me.
Olga.
Ogla's
The
one.
Olga, the Oglamar, and there's the Kazon Nistrum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's 3. You started and there's 18. You want to keep going?
No.
Do we learn the names of many more?
I don't think we learned
No.
them all. No, they're just like there's so many. You'll never learn them all, and we never do.
That's right. Which is the first one we see? Do you know which
The
one?
we
Kazon
see the
Olga.
Ogla first.
Yeah.
I think the Olga are first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, 4.5 for Cousin Dave. The Taylors are tied at 3. Romulan Warbird, circa 2370, uses a kind of a unique power source. Let's give this to Cousin Dave. What is that power source?
Be a quantum singularity, an artificial one, more specifically.
Mhm.
That's right. Artificial black hole is exactly right. 5.5, 3, and 3. We'll go back to Davin for this one. No, actually, I'm going to give this one to Dave because it's kind of up his alley.
Oh no, it's about ships.
No, it's not about ships. It's about philosophy.
Registration.
Okay. That's his other alley.
Prepare to be vastly
The
disappointed. Let's see
philosophy
what
of ships he's all over.
happens.
Philosophy.
We
All
look
right.
for things to make them go.
So one of probably the sort of go-to things that people would know about Star Trek as far as the philosophical outlook on things is that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Where does that come
Or the
from?
one.
Or the
That's a piece of Vulcan philosophy. And may well come from the teachings of Surak.
Mhm.
Yep. First time we hear it, it comes from Spock. He doesn't necessarily accredit given the moments.
Nope.
Doesn't appear in any classical Earth philosophy. This was supposed to be a trap question, but Dave was all over it. So 5.5. Taylor Dave is at 4. Davin, you're now all alone in the final position. 3 points.
Oh, that's terrible.
3 points for you. So let's give you the first crack at this one. Okay. Roberto Picardo played the EMH Mark 1.
Robert Picardo, yeah, he's not Roberto, but that's what
Roberto
Kate Mulgrew calls him, so that's fair. That's fair.
He gets credited in the credits as Roberto Picardo.
He definitely doesn't.
EMH Mark, you don't want to lose a point.
I've lost points this way before. Oh no!
All right, EMH Mark 2 was brought in for to address some of the deficiencies of the Mark 1, including bedside manner. Who played Mark 2?
Mark 2 was played by Andy Dick.
That's right. All right, 5.5, 4, and 4. We're just about ready for the speed round.
I'm sorry. Too zesty for you?
All right. I want to do this one as a toss-up. More, I want to see the thoughts of the group. So, Tom Paris, played by the same actor who played Nick Locarno, and
the guy from He-Man.
There's a couple.
Yeah, he said He-Man.
Couple of different theories as to why it was not Nick Locarno. Tom Paris, they don't hammer this very much, but he does have a eerily similar backstory to where we last saw Nick Locarno. What was the reason? There's kind of two theories that I've seen about this. What is the reason that we got Tom Paris and not Nick Locarno?
Whose question is this?
It's a toss-up.
Oh, I know it.
It's because the writer didn't want to pay the writer.
Cousin Dave was first up here.
Yeah, it's because they didn't. I didn't know it was a theory. I thought it was just that they didn't want to have to pay the writer of the first duty, who would be credited with as the creator of Nick Locarno, with a royalty every time he was on Voyager. So they just created like this character is almost exactly like Tom Paris or Nick Locarno. We'll just call him Tom Paris, and we'll give him an Admiral Father, and that will be it.
Yeah. So they didn't want to pay royalties. They wanted to save themselves a couple of bucks for every single episode. There is a second sort of theory out there that has been floated. So either of the Taylors, do you know what that might be?
The name Tom Paris sounds cooler.
No.
I thought Locarno had faced very strict disciplinary consequences in the episode and may have left Starfleet.
He did, yeah.
Or left the Academy, so we couldn't have him.
He was kicked out, although we do also get Tom Paris out of jail.
Tom Paris had also been kicked out.
Yeah, but he's kicked out while he's an officer as opposed to being in the Academy, right?
Yeah,
which is a different place to pick him up.
An issue I have.
He's an
because,
officer in jail.
How come Tom Paris got to wear the pips after, when he was on Voyager? Because he had joined the Maquis briefly, and then he got bounced out. But then when they merged the crews, they say now he's more of a Starfleet guy.
This is a good point.
I wonder if it's because his disposition was from a Starfleet prison, because he was imprisoned as a Starfleet officer.
And Chakotay thought he's like, I don't like you, Tom Paris. You're just a self-serving guy. You're like the plain, boring tomato soup. Let's see.
So it would have been funny to hear like Tom griping for 7 seasons about that rat Wesley Crusher.
That would have been pretty awesome.
When I get back to the Alpha Quadrant, I'm going to pay old Wesley Crusher a visit.
Just going to go to his door and say, "Shut up, Wesley."
Shut up, Wesley.
I give it to you, Dave. The sort of official line on that was that they thought that Locarno may have been beyond redeeming, and so they didn't want to bring him back. I think it was a little bit more of maybe a more palatable answer than we're kind of cheap and we don't want to have to pay royalties on this. Even though I think likely the royalties question is the one that was ultimately.
When did they say Tom did end up in jail, though?
Well, he worked with the Maquis.
Yeah, he worked with the Maquis.
Yeah. He's like, on my very first mission, I was caught.
Yeah. Although I think historically this is like not an untrue thing of Star Trek, because Roddenberry claimed credit for the theme tune for the original Star Trek, but it's because he wrote a bunch of really bad words to it, as far as I recall.
I considered putting that in there, see if anyone knew what those lyrics were. Why did he do
they're
that?
terrible. Oh my gosh, you can find them.
Was he a monkey in an episode?
I think he's talking about the
Oh,
closed
he joined
captions.
the monkey briefly.
Yeah, he joined the Maquis briefly.
The
Yeah,
lizard briefly.
the other thing too is like
So
Chakotay.
crappy.
He was like in
Oh,
some
man.
episodes, he's like, in the Maquis, we had to just take what we could get. Like he's perfectly okay with like Lon Suitor being in his like group, who's clearly like a psychopath. But then like Tom Paris was just a spoiled rich kid, son of an admiral who was looking for a fight. So like the fact that Chakotay takes such exception with Tom Paris is so odd to me. Like, you know, where Chakotay's like line for morality lies in terms of who he thinks is good and bad.
But in the sense of like having a revolutionary ideal, I can see where he'll have a peculiar dislike of Tom Paris for having sort of played at revolutionary, right?
Right.
But you make a good point. Like it shows up when it's convenient, and when it's not, they're fine.
Yeah, he's
You
like,
know?
whatever. Lon Suitor, like and these more violent members of his group, you know,
Or that.
for that.
All right. We're gonna move to the speed round here. So as we come into this, 6.5 for cousin Dave. Regular old Dave is at 5. Gavin is at 4.
Regular old Davin's at
That's true.
Plain old Gavin.
Simple Davin.
plain simple.
All right. Here's how this is gonna work.
This is crap. I'm going back to cousin Dave's podcast.
Each of these are for. I'm looking for a person. I've got a short description.
So who goes first? Or are we just
I'm
shouting
gonna-
stuff out?
Awesome. So you're shouting the answer first for me.
Whoever says it first, okay.
Should I wonder if I should take points away if you get it wrong too. Maybe I will. Because I think there's 15.
You make stuff up on
I'm
the
in
fly, this
trouble.
Mr. Scott.
Does this look like a very professional put together thing? Look at this.
It's got
falling
papers.
apart.
That looks professional.
He's using paper.
Paper.
What is
Paper. It's better than just writing in the dirt, you know, or something.
Yeah,
So
okay. So I'm going to
Writing's
give
a skill.
a very brief description of who somebody is. I'll say Captain of the Enterprise D. I'm looking for Picard. They're going to be a little more complex than that. Some of these, I think, well, we'll see how you do.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
There goes Mr. Scott. There he's back.
Was I gone?
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're back.
Not going to be much of a speed round if I'm disappearing partway through.
It'd be extra speedy if anything.
All right. So as we start, Davin, you have to make up 2.5. Dave, you have
Okay.
to make up 1.5. Cousin Dave, you can really.
I have the
really
lead.
have a victory.
All right.
All right.
There, I just made it up. 2.5.
You might have. You're cruising.
I know.
The other son of Moog.
Kern.
Yep. An Irish cellist and later a professor of engineering.
O'Brien.
So Brian.
Youngest member of the USS Raven.
Annika Hansen.
7 of 9. Annika Hansen.
The birth mother of Alexander Rozhenko.
Kalar.
KR.
Fiance of Catherine Janeway at the time of her disappearance aboard the Voyager.
Mark.
Mark.
I think that was Gavin on that one.
It was.
Troubled Betazoid engineer and a member of the Maquis who was lost with the Voyager.
Lon
Lon
Suitor.
Suitor?
Jan Suter. The Delton navigator of the USS Enterprise, circa about 2270.
Oh, cripes.
The what?
Oh,
Dalton.
Ileana or something?
The
Nope.
Delton.
Nope, that's a minus.
Oh,
Star Trek: The Motion Picture. The bald lady. What's her name?
Yeah.
She's played by
Oh, God.
Persis Kambata.
Pass. You were close.
I think you should get the point just by knowing who Pet Laser.
Captain of the USS Enterprise C.
Rachel Garrett. Captain Rachel Garrett.
Oh.
The first Vorta encountered by Starfleet.
Laurel. What's her
Nope.
name?
No.
It's the female
It's,
Vorta.
I can see her. It's like
Cripes.
Pass.
That's not my guess.
Primary
Her name.
developer of Earth's first Warp 5 engine.
that'd be Henry Archer.
Cock. Oh.
Henry Archer is right.
Oh, right. Yes.
Forgotten host of the Dax symbiont, and he was immediately before Curzon.
Joran.
Duran, that's right.
Ooh.
I was going to say Toronto.
Cardassian gull with a particularly well-lit office.
Yvette.
Madrid.
Madrid is right. Captain of the unregistered freighter La Sirena.
Oh, Chris Rios.
Chris Rios.
Oh yeah.
El Orion, super fan of the Nexus.
Soren.
Soren.
Dang.
Tolian Soren.
Tolian.
Books.
Time is the fire which we burn.
It is. It really is.
You're missing questions, gentlemen.
Oh,
Books,
sorry.
Cat.
What?
Say it again.
Books, cat. The cat.
Oh,
Oh.
Books Cat's name's
Oh, I don't know. I forget.
Pass. The elected first name of Bradwood Boimler's transporter clone.
William.
William is right. So, Cousin Dave cleaned up there. That's 6 more, and that counts 2 minus points. Puts him at 12 and a half.
Really? I thought I got most of those. There must be a delay.
I know I didn't.
Dave, you finished with 6. Davin, you finished with 7. The ones we missed. What did we miss? We might only miss the one, which is the Delta Navigator's Lieutenant Ilya. Very, very close.
I was close. I was on the right track. I didn't get it quite.
I'm with Brian Babineau. I also heard Beyonce of Catherine Janeway. So I was kind of confused for a second there. I think I should get a point for being confused about Beyonce.
You're ahead of Dave by a nose, and you're pushing your luck here to lose a point. I'm not going to do it. 12 and a half. Other Dave walks away with this one. That was
Thank you. This is why no one plays Star Trek trivia with me here in Ontario, and I'm glad.
Don't worry, we'll have you back for more Nova Scotia trivia.
You slightly daunted Nova Scotia as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I was born in Nova Scotia, but
Oh,
that counts for something.
Then he said, "Farewell to Nova Scotia." That's as much as
my parents had everything to do with it. I didn't have a choice.
Cat. Did we get the cat name? Cat was Grudge. That was the
Grudge. That's it.
That's cat and books cat. I get it now.
Cat. I don't know how many times I said it. It was a few.
Yeah, I never.
Our viewers are always on my side.
I call him Booker.
Booker. Well, that's his actual name.
Yeah.
Everyone else calls him Booker.
Yeah, I'm more affordable like that. So much
I'm
that
champion.
but those cats are from Ontario. There's 2 that play Grudge, and they're from not too far from here. And so much that I was like, Jane, we need to get a big cat like this. Because we have 2 cats already. One named Spot, which is obvious. Second one named Jaden, which is when Data lost his memory.
Right.
Jaden.
I have a cat named Miles after Miles O'Brien and a dearly departed cat named Kalis.
I named my cats after vegetables.
Yeah, but she's like, we don't have the litter space. I was like, when these cats die, then we can get a big one like cat, like Grudge, like a Maine Coon cat. That's the dream.
They're great cats. Oh man, they're so gorgeous.
All right,
fluffy as anything.
Trivia is complete. The plain simple.
That was so quick. I could go for hours. I love Star Trek trivia, guys. Like I eat it up so much that my friends don't want to play with me because they're like, you pay attention to all the stuff that no one else does. But you guys also clearly do too. So this is fun.
Yeah, this was good. I wasn't sure about some of these. I thought some of them might be a little on the tough side. You didn't miss many at all. Like between the group, the season premieres and finales, I knew would be a tough.
That's a tough one. Yeah, like episode.
I am gonna protest. If I'd have picked any series but Enterprise, I'd have won.
Gosh.
Yeah.
See, my general problem is just
you had the choice. You could have picked any series whatsoever.
I know. I regret it to this day. To this day.
Uh-huh. All right, fellas. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Scott,
thanks, Mr.
thank
Scott.
you for hosting this. Thank you for doing this. Great job.
Right. See you later.
Well, I guess it's just us now. You want to hype your podcast, Dave?
Yeah, well, sure. Thanks, cousin Davin.
No problem, cousin Dave.
Coming from cousin Dave. Check out our our channel, my channel, Live Long in Podcast, which is we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. You can listen to us wherever you get your audio podcasts, including Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. We're it's all the same RSS feed, and we talk about new and old Star Trek all the time. So actually this week's gonna be a bit different. So Monday nights we have been talking about Star Trek the original series, watching every episode not in order. And so this next one will be at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We'll be talking about, is there in truth no beauty, or is that what it's called? Yeah, something like that. It's the one with Diana Muldaur in one of her two guest appearances on Star Trek the original series. The one who went on to play Pulaski in Next Gen. I think she's a blind woman and she sees through this net. It's kind of like the earliest version of the Visor. So we're doing that one tomorrow on original series with my dad. We call those the TED Treks. But also we're doing Deep Space Nine tomorrow night. We're going to be doing that actually before that. We normally do that on Tuesdays, but since my brother Jeff is now back to curling, we have to kind of move the podcast around the curling schedule. And so we'll be doing that tomorrow. We're talking about Return to Grace with that's the one where Ducat is he's been since demoted to as a captain of a Cardassian freighter. Him and Kira go on this side mission along with his daughter Zial to take vengeance on the Klingons for attacking some Klingons and Cardassians and Bajorans. So we're talking about both episodes tomorrow on Live Long and Podcast. And then, Davin, you and I and Jameel Robinson and Jeff Mader, we have been talking about Star Trek Lower Decks. We just talked about all 10 episodes of that, just finishing up this past Thursday.
It was phenomenal.
It was a great one. We're going to be talking about maybe kind of the whole season as a whole, bringing in some of the other podcasters. I'm hoping to do that on Thursday as well. So check that out, hopefully. And then in a week's time, after this Thursday, October 28th, we're going to be starting our coverage of Star Trek Prodigy, which is coming out and starting on that day. I'm going to be doing that with you, Davin, and along with another podcaster, Jessica Chan, starting on that date. And then a couple weeks later, Star Trek Discovery Season 4 will be starting up. And we'll be starting to cover that as of November 18th, along with Michael Chan and Adam Woodward. So lots of new and old Star Trek always going on over at Live Long and Podcast. Plus, we do Star Trek Radio Theater, which you can check out. We do the script reads and reenactments of the different episodes with new interpretations. And our other channels, Super Mader Brothers Podcasting, where we talk about shows like Big Brother, Survivor, all kinds of other things, and Trivial Debates, where we talk about movie, sports, things like that, kind of a game show format. So we got a bunch of different channels, a bunch of different podcasts going all the time, and glad to be here. Glad to be talking to you guys on Locutors of Trek.
Being so on point with the sound effects all the time, Dave. Whenever you say Super Mader Brothers Podcast, I'm always expect do 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 do, but it never happens.
No, I never. I should. You think have that?
Yeah, fire that up.
No, instead I just have. Simple things.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
Some sloppy work. Some damn
sloppy work. Where's that one? Oh my god, that's like my new favorite one that I got just recently.
That's the best
one. Cisco.
You did some sloppy work. Some damn sloppy work.
Oh man, his elocution.
But talking about some not sloppy work, the reason Dave and I are cuddling up so close right here is we're in the middle of recording a Garrick supplemental for our podcast, Locutors of Trek.
It's true.
It is very true. Well, or is it? Well, of course it is, especially the live.
It's true.
But yep, so that should be up probably in the next couple of days. And then we'll be back with the Writer's Room segment, hosted by Dave here. Would you like to say something about the Writer's Room segment?
Well,
Dave?
The idea behind this started out as sort of just the what ifs we throw out, but one of the things I'd really like to dig into is the way in which the sort of physical practice of writing plays such a huge part in how Star Trek happens. We talked earlier about Locarno and Paris, and one of the things that I think would be really fascinating to try is writing our own sort of at least plans for episodes. So what my plan is I've got some seeds. I'm going to send them around to folks, writer I know and a couple other guys.
Me and Dave's brother Jeff.
Indeed. So, and
Yeah.
what I'm going to be looking for are A, B, maybe a C plot if we have them, and then to fill those out through discussion and see what works with a given story seed well to bring out dimensions of it that really speak in a Star Trek kind of way. So it's an exercise in learning how to tell a Star Trek story.
Yeah, we're going to build a season.
That's the idea.
Over,
12, 13
over
episodes. in the
about
end.
4 segments.
Yeah.
4 editions of the writers.
Charming story.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of Garrick, we should probably get back to that, Dave?
Indeed. Yeah.
We're going to talk about Garrick. You guys can listen to it soon. I suggest you do. It's going to be a lot of fun. We read his book. It's going to be great. Written by Garrick himself.
Yeah. Well, for now, nice
They're
to see you
all
again,
true.
Dave. But
Especially
Yeah, Dave, thanks for
Hello.
showing up
Oh.
for the trouble with trivia.
No, this is great. I love Star Trek trivia anytime.
I know. I'm always throwing out those sounds, right? All right. Thanks, everybody
All
who
right.
watched, and we'll see you soon.
indeed. End transmission.
Thank you.